Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well and thanks for being here. This is a timeless reading that's for somebody out there. My intention is that it will find the person it's meant for, the people it's meant for at the right time. It's definitely not intended to be for everyone, so if the storyline that emerges isn't resonating with you, it's probably not for you. You can still watch the whole reading. It's always an intention of mine that anyone who's drawn to one of my readings will gain something from it. Whether that's an insight, a piece of wisdom, or just the opportunity to see something from a different perspective. So if you happen to be here, I do think you're meant to be here. All right, we'll get started. We'll just do a love pause first. This is where we pause the video and send some love out into the universe. You can also do this as a little Ho'oponopono prayer instead, and that involves saying the 4 sentences: thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, and please forgive me. So thanks to everyone who does this. The time to pause is now, and I'll start my reading on the next slide. And here we are with the spread for this reading. If you're interested in the decks that I've used, I will have them listed in the description box. So this tarot deck is a bit loud, isn't it? The images are certainly eclectic and high impact as well. I've had this deck for a while and I've used it for myself, but I think this is actually the first time I've used it for one of these readings. If I'm being honest, I do struggle to know what some of the artwork is about with some cards, but yeah, I'm going to take this as a bit of a challenge. We'll see where it goes. Challenges are good from time to time, right? But anyway, getting back to this, I took 3 cards from the bottom of the deck. So the Justice card was the card at the bottom of the deck, and immediately behind that was the Ace of Cups and then the Magician card. They all felt like strong energies, so I pulled them through. Now, the Justice card is a Libra energy. It's about balance and it's about what's just and fair. And it can also be about the justice system and legal matters. So looking at this image, I'm not sure what's being weighed up against each other here. See, I told you some of these images are a bit weird. But I am seeing that one of these, on one side, we've got this glittery, it's like a glitter ball, but it's a person and they're almost like in a meditation pose. And that strikes me as weird. Like it's very, yeah, because I guess we tend to see spiritual people as being more humble. I don't know, is that the right word? I just get the sense of, all that glitters isn't gold kind of messaging here, because there's, I don't know if this is like a fake spiritualist or something, because they're very glitter bally. And I have no idea what's on the other side, what they're being weighed against, but maybe something more authentic perhaps. Anyway, I don't know. This is one of those images that is a challenge. But anyway, the next card looks a bit easier. It's the Ace of Cups, and that's about experiencing a lot of love or a lot of happiness. And so this is about someone feeling so good that the positive energy fills them and then spills out of them. And then their good energy actually starts making other people feel good. Now, I tend to see the aces as cardinal energies. So this would be the cardinal sign of water, which would be Cancerian energy to me. Now, it's interesting to have the Ace of Cups follow the Justice card. So to me, that means that justice has brought something really good into someone's life. And I don't know if this is justice in the physical realm or karmic justice or divine justice, that sort of thing. Now, justice in the physical realm could be like a judgment that's been ruled in someone's favor. Maybe they're awarded damages or compensation for something, or their name is cleared after they were falsely accused or defamed. Maybe this is a divorce being finalized and this person's getting a fair settlement and their freedom. This could be someone gaining sole custody of their children because the other parent is an absolutely awful person. I guess these are the kinds of situations where where someone might be really happy about justice happening in the physical realm because things have finally been put right. Now, karmic justice or divine justice would be about things being made right as well, and it would mean that the person gets the blessings that are meant for them, and so those are things they're meant to get because of who they are as a person. And so if someone does start to receive those blessings, they are going to feel like they are loved by the universe. So that could be what that Ace of Cups feeling is. Now, the Magician card is the third card here at the bottom of the deck, and the Magician is someone who can make anything happen because they hold all the aces, so they've got the potential to create whatever they want. And they also have the confidence and self-belief to create whatever they want, so they genuinely believe that anything is possible. Now, this image is interesting because the rabbit is the magician. So normally in an old-fashioned magic show, the rabbit is what gets pulled out of the hat by the magician. So I do find that image interesting. So maybe this is a magician that other people weren't expecting. So they might have looked like they were a passive participant in someone else's magic show, but they've actually revealed themselves to be a magician themselves. So that's a very interesting image. Now, because this magician energy is also relating to justice and good things coming into someone's life, maybe this is about how this person can now manifest or attract in whatever they want. So it's like the universe is going to let them have whatever they want. And that's a big thing, isn't it? It makes me feel like this person is highly favored. So that's an interesting pile of energies at the bottom of the deck. Now, I'm going to look at the main tarot spread. The card that's showing up as being in the past position is the Nine of Wands, and this is a very unusual image for the Nine of Wands as well. So in the traditional image for the Nine of Wands, we would see the person as the wounded warrior archetype, so someone who's really been through it. They've been through a lot of crap in their lives, and I would see it as someone who's quite defensive and who's just expecting the crap to keep rolling in. So this image is so different. In this image, this person looks like someone who's always tried to keep moving forward in a cheerful way. So they're wearing some fun clothes here. They're carrying balloons and they've got this funky umbrella. Now, when I looked at this spread, the smiley face on this umbrella was significant because I'd already pulled an oracle card called Smiley Face, and that oracle card has the keyword joy on it. And in that image, you can see these funky fingernails with smiley faces on them. So what I'm getting with this person's funky style is that this particular wounded warrior really didn't want to be a broken person or to continue to bring that energy to the world. So they didn't want to, what's the word? I guess if they've experienced a lot of hardship and negativity and adversity, they didn't want to bring or contribute that energy into the world themselves. So, they didn't want to appear to be a broken person or to kind of perpetuate that energy of brokenness. I feel like they wanted to live life with as much joy as they could on an everyday basis. And so even if their life had been a series of crappy experiences, this is someone who would go out into the world every day and do their best to spread joy and positivity. So this is someone I'm seeing with that smiley face. I can imagine they've always got a smile on their face. Now, the yellow I'm being drawn to the yellow on this other card, which is titled Empathy, because it is a match to the yellow on the smiley faces. And this card reads, when we allow our compassion to inspire us, all things are possible. And it's interesting to have all things are possible because I sort of said that with the magician energy as well. So I do think this person has that mindset of all things are possible, but they're also a very compassionate person is what that card is saying. So this is definitely someone who shows up in the world with a smile for everyone and a lot of compassion for whatever other people are going through. It's interesting on this empathy card that there is a chain link fence behind this person. And I think that represents the harshness of their own life experiences. Now, other people might not guess that this is their story because, like I said, they don't project that when they go out into the world. They don't want to have that energy coming from them. But they do have a story of difficulty, and we see that with the Nine of Wands as well. But I'm drawn to this person's eye being shown in close detail, and I feel like maybe this person's eyes were noticed by the more observant people out there. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul, right? So I feel like this person's eyes hold a lot of depth, and the people who noticed that might have suspected that this person had a story that made them who they were. Now, this is a really cool story, isn't it? It's very impactful so far. And I guess I did start this reading by saying this deck had some high impact kind of imagery. So this sounds like a big story, and I'm also just noticing the symbol for Cancer on this card. So we did get Cancerian energy already with the Ace of Cups, so there's strong Cancerian energy here. And I'm also seeing that this is a number 33 card, and 33 is actually the master teacher number in numerology. So yeah, I do feel like this person, that's why this feels so impactful. I feel like this person is a big deal. And I was getting that they were highly favored by the universe. That came through with the bottom of the deck energies. So I feel like this is someone with an important destiny. And as master teacher, they're meant to guide others. So that's an important destiny. Now, the next card in the spread is also very different to the traditional image for the Nine of Pentacles. So we've got two nines here. Now, in the traditional card, we see someone who's looking, strong and healthy and independent and successful. But in this image, this character is in a wheelchair. So the Nine of Pentacles, with it being the Nine of Pentacles, I do still think that they're perhaps financially doing well, because that is a financially stable kind of energy. But I guess they're not necessarily in a physical state of being healthy and independent because of this wheelchair. They may have some physical limitations and they need some help perhaps with that. But they're still doing their best because this person is out there, looking after their pentacles. And that doesn't, I guess when I say pentacles, I don't mean that they're just looking after their financial stability, because the suit of pentacles actually relates to the earthly experience. So this person looking after their pentacles means they're still looking after themselves and the things that they need to do each day. I'm seeing that the wheelchair is indicating that life has obviously dealt them another cruel blow, but they're still the wounded warrior, really, because, here something else crappy has maybe happened. But based on how this person has always been, I'm going to say they're probably still trying to be as happy as they can be. So this card is actually the card in the present position. So I'm thinking that this person, being who they are, they'll still be trying to bring joy and positivity into the world in some way because it matters to them to do that. I guess with the wheelchair, it might not be too easy for them to get around and do things anymore, so they might not work anymore, for example, but they might try and do something online that allows them to keep interacting with others and keep bringing light into the world, because I do feel like this is what that smiley face is about. They want to bring light to the world, strong light worker energies from this person, so they're never going to stop trying to uplift others. It's what they see as their life purpose. It's almost like they see all of their life experiences as things that were teaching them what they needed to learn in order to serve their life purpose. And so this is actually how they've become the master teacher. They've been through a lot of challenge, hardship, adversity, and they've learned through those experiences. And now they actually have the wisdom that they can share with others. Now, the card in the last position, it was actually quite upsetting when I pulled it. I don't normally channel anything when I'm pulling the cards, but I pulled this wheelchair person, the person in the wheelchair card, and then the next card came up as the Seven of Swords, which just isn't a nice card, and it made me sad. So obviously this person's already been through it all, but the Seven of Swords is about secrecy, deception, betrayal, stuff like that. So it just looked like on top of everything else this person has gone through, they're being, harmed or exploited by some really crappy person. So that would be horrible. Like if you had a horrible life and then, someone stabs you in the back or whatever. This is the card in the future position. So maybe this hasn't happened yet. But when I look at this image, it looks like someone trying to flee in a getaway car. So this might be something that has already happened or is currently happening. And at this point, someone is trying to get away with what they've done. So maybe the future, like I said, someone trying to run away from what they've done or, escape the consequences of what they've done. But we did have justice at the bottom of the deck, so I feel like it's very possible that that person is going to get caught and brought to justice. So this might be physical realm justice, but it could be, if they haven't committed any crimes, this could well be spiritual justice, because let's face it, this light worker definitely did not deserve the treatment they got from this, I don't know, vile, heartless, soulless piece of bleep person that stabbed them in the back. With justice at the bottom of the deck, I don't think this person will get away with what they're trying to get away with. So, if this car is trying to get away, they're going to get found out. Because, like I said, I don't channel during the card when I'm pulling the cards. So when I saw that bad card, I did pull a clarifier card. And what I got was this hammer card. And it's got some interesting keywords. It's got sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, persistent, and working on it. So there's a bit of a mixed bag of energies there. But, with it clarifying the Seven of Swords, I felt like it was talking about a sustained injustice. And I'll come back to that in a minute, but certainly we see the word rebuilding. So maybe every time this person has tried to rebuild from a bad experience, something else has come in to knock them down. And the word interrogation's here, so maybe there is some criminal process where this person ends up being interrogated. But I'll get back to what I was saying before, which was that I felt that this card clarifying the Seven of Swords was like a sustained injustice. So that makes me feel like someone has been operating behind the scenes, like someone's had a campaign, like some sort of vendetta to take this person down. And I guess with this person being, well, they're looking like a light worker with an important destiny. This could also be like there are forces on the dark side that don't want this person to fulfill their destiny. So this sustained campaign might have just been about breaking this person's spirit and making them give up on their purpose. So that's quite intense. Obviously, this person has had a lot of crap happen in their life, and I guess we don't know when this evil campaign actually started. Like, it could have started when they were quite young. It could have started at some point in the middle, and I certainly hope, this person ended up in a wheelchair, or with some sort of physical limitation. So I certainly hope that wasn't the result of this evil that was going on in the background. But the keywords on this hammer card certainly make me think that this person's enemy had no intention of ever stopping. But it's interesting because the hammer is also persistent. So it's almost like, obviously this person had no intention of ever stopping from shining their light. So, it's almost like this battle of two persistent energies here. But we do have that justice card as the first card here, and that certainly does mean that justice, well, to me that means that justice will be served. So I feel like this person's, with all the other cards we got at the bottom of the deck, I feel like this person's life will get a lot better once this enemy is dealt with. Because justice was followed by the Ace of Cups and the Magician energies, and that was all very positive. So this person has blessings that are meant for them, and I feel like perhaps all of the crap, or a lot of the crap they've dealt with, has been because of the evil things that have been done to cause them harm. So once that enemy is gone, those blessings will just come in with nothing to block them. So this is interesting. I guess I've got to say personally, I never know why, with these kinds of stories, why the divine doesn't deal with the enemy earlier. But I suppose there could be some reason, there will be some reason for it. Maybe God is trying to give these people a chance to stop what they're doing and turn back to the light. Maybe it's something like that. But then at some point, I guess they go too far and they get stopped. So maybe they just become so evil that it's clear that they're lost to the light. And as I say that, I'm thinking of the devil card in tarot, where the two individuals who are trapped by the devil, they're actually starting to change in their appearance and they're becoming more like the devil themselves. And that makes sense, I guess. If you keep choosing to do the devil's work, you will end up becoming more and more like the devil. And at some point, I guess they're too far gone in that transformation. And maybe that's when God says, oh, well, I've lost that child and I'm not going to let them take this other child out. So, because, we're all God's children. So even the evil ones probably get a few chances to come good. And it's interesting. I said, I'm not going to let one child take the other child out. So that could be true, actually, because maybe at this point, this evil person was going to try and take this light worker out, and I feel like it's like I said, there was this battle of each person's persistence, and I feel like they did so much to crush this light worker person's spirit, and they just wouldn't stop shining their light. So it was like nothing this evil person was doing was crushing their spirit. So maybe at that point or at some point the enemy decided that the only way to actually stop this person from fulfilling their destiny was to take them out in a permanent way. And of course that definitely wasn't in the divine plan, because this person is divinely destined to be a master teacher. And I guess if someone is trying to screw up a divine plan, God really has to intervene, because this person is here. They're meant to fulfill their purpose and they're not meant to be taken out before they do. Wow, what an interesting reading this is. Now, the number 9, I mentioned we've got 2 tarot cards that are number 9s, but we also have the number 54 on one of these cards. 9 relates to cycles ending, because the next number 10 obviously reduces back to 1. We also have the number 33 and then another 3 from the 30 cards. So 3s are also significant. 3 is a number that relates to creation, creativity, and the divine as the creator. So the divine is obviously the creator of all of us, but also the creator in all of us. And this is why the stronger our connection is to the divine, the more magical our creations will seem. It's interesting to channel that last message. Maybe it's not something we think about, but a strong spiritual connection makes us more powerful creators, because we become vessels for that divine creator energy. Now, the last card, which I didn't talk about yet, is the number 54 card I just mentioned. And it says, fall in love with your own story. So I am going to say this has been a great story, very powerful story. I'm still a bit upset about what this enemy was doing, but I guess ultimately this is a great story, because the enemy couldn't bring this person down. So even if they physically harmed this person, they failed in their real mission, which was to crush this person's spirit. And I guess it's also an underdog winning kind of story, because obviously they didn't know they had this enemy. They just kept doing what they had to do and doing what they thought was their purpose. And like we saw in the magician card, the rabbit becomes the magician. So it's like the underdog wins in the end, because the enemy thought they were the more powerful one, and in the end, the rabbit is the one who ends up the star of the show. And I think we're done, but it's interesting that the name of this tarot deck is Rebel Heart Tarot. So that feels kind of perfect as well, because I feel like this person's determination to be joyful and positive, that was their rebellion against the dark forces that were working against them. That's a very strong spirit, and I guess that's what will make them a powerful magician. So thinking back to what was being weighed up on that justice scale, I guess, is maybe the flashy disco ball kind of person is the evil magician, maybe, who is doing a lot of evil things, and the other thing, whatever it is, this red ball, it's like is the thing that's true. It's the thing that doesn't get destroyed. Maybe this is this person's spirit. So when you weigh these two things up, like I said, they were equally persistent. So in the end, I guess divine justice is what comes through to declare that one of them is the winner. So that's interesting. Yeah, I still couldn't tell you what these objects are meant to be, but that's what I'm seeing there. And that's it, guys. Yeah, so that was the end of the reading. I hope you enjoyed it. This here is the last slide. Thank you all for being here, and thanks for watching this video. If you like the videos that I do, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you liked this video, please give it a like and leave a comment if you feel guided to. Thanks to all the people who are already subscribed. Your support means the world to me. And that's it, everyone. Take care, and I hope that I'll see you again in another video. So see you next time. Bye.